The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Global Market Pulse with your host, John Logan. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, John Logan.
Hi, guys. Welcome back to the show. And really want to get started immediately with crude oil, as I've said it correctly for once. We're going to take a look at this. This is something, we talked about this crowding this 3273 area. And we said, let's just wait and see if we get a close above this particular profile. And just to get right into it, I mean, this is the first time this has happened since the 50s, guys. So, and that was just a brief, what is the Stephen Hawking book? Brief time in history, brief history of time. Anyway, it was just a very, very brief little breakout that happened around 50, and that was very short-lived. But we wanted to see this thing break out, close above, and consolidate, come back and retest this 3273. I am cautiously optimistic. So, the cool thing is we talked about not just getting carried away and, chasing something. And we actually reached almost, 35.5 yesterday, and that little bit of a spike. Waiting for maybe the powerful, high probability trade coming back into that 3273. And in my opinion, now you can orient some stops around that area based on your appetite for risk. Remember, it's going to be a little noisy around this area. And to be honest with you, the more I see if we can have a couple of days spinning around, hanging around above that profile, I'm going to feel better and better about the long trade, and that long trade getting back up into that 3762 area. Not saying it's going to happen and get there immediately, but there's the inflection point we want to pay attention to. 3762 right there, as you can see this. And why is that the case? This is our weekly bottom of our profile. Remember, this is the outside envelope on the downside of the balanced area as we look at things. So that's the situation on crude oil. Will the market, the U.S. stock market, like that? I mean, to be honest with you, it should. The oil sector's kind of edging up here. S&Ps are up about 10 or 11 points this morning, and there's a lot of reasons for that. We want to talk about that. Obviously, there's some earnings announcements that are affecting this. There's notes have just completely broken out. And we're going to talk about that too. The market usually likes lower rates. Seemingly, that's been the case. Obviously, over the last, not been a real inverse relationship as usual. Historically, this is something we're going to pay attention to today. But let's go back into the scanner really quick, and let's look at our ETF section. And this is our 60-minute. Again, these stocks aren't really showing internal breath calculations yet this morning. It's only 10 after 8 Eastern time. But let's take a look at the daily situation. The XLE, the XLU, man. This XLU has just been a horse, huh? I mean, look at this. Look at. My goodness. Whew. So we've actually talked about EXC. We've talked about quite a few of these stocks ahead of time. Here's the daily, had a breakout on it. Yesterday we did a couple of videos on this. By the way, again, in the spirit of never my fault if something's wrong. Just kidding. A lot of videos have been sent to TFNN, 15 or 20 of them. Some how to hopefully ring the register with this scanner. Not print money, but hopefully use it to your advantage. Have been sent over there, and hopefully they'll get posted. Just making a note of that to you. And EXC, we talked about this, in a in a market that's going south or sideways, if you want to buy stocks, you want to try to find the sector and the strength in that sector internally to try to buy. I mean, you want to try to find the things that are going to be as least painful as possible if you're wrong. And, we've talked about EXC. What was the other one we kind of focused on? PEG. We focused on that one. We talked about it the other day. Here's the landscape view. And as they say in North Carolina, Viola. 40.5. Let's just take a look at this. Wow. Breakout. Nice. Cool. Here's the weekly, getting above the weekly profiles. So again, provided some nice little pops. I think we're going to probably gap up this morning in a lot of these stocks. And remember that utility sector sometimes is kind of the anti-sector. So pay attention. If the market really starts screaming, the bang for the buck, I mean, this is going to be a very, very nice little trade to stay within that compartment. But there's some other spring-loaded situations we're going to look at that might provide some opportunities. But remember, staying above 32.73 on crude oil is going to really make the U.S. stock market happy. And as we go back into the XLE, getting away from the utilities for a second, we looked at what was it, PSX, Phillips 66 the other day. We're going to take a look at a bunch of earnings stocks today. But this one, little bit of a letdown, actually. Was trying to look at this as the relative strength type thing. This is our daily kind of, again, higher lows, lower lows on crude oil. Here's the weekly. The good news is this has moved up, but we haven't broken out of that daily situation. I'm going to go to our 1 hour. Let's see where we're at this morning. Remember, we can't give you prices in the scanner. We can give you visuals because we'd be breaking real-time derivative exchange rules if we did that. Again, the breakout point 79.19 on PSX. That crude oil stays above this area 32.73. A lot of these oil stocks could just give you some big-time pops, just relief things. I mean, and in fact, I always think of things like this. If I'm short oil stocks right now, I'm super concerned. I mean, I am terrified. So therefore, might be okay to be long some of those. But again, pick the best of the best when it comes to these oil stocks. All right. Hope you guys watched the debate last night. I did until I threw up. I can't watch those things that long. I was actually pulling for Jeb Bush, man. When the bully's beating on the little kid, you always kind of root for the underdog, and he somehow has kind of gotten into that role. I really think the guy is a good-hearted, decent human being, and I hate how that's kind of unfolded for him. So I really love to see the guy do well. We'll be right back.
TFNN is excited to offer a brand new piece of market scanning software unlike anything the industry has ever seen. John Logan and his team have spent years developing their market profile tools to finally be able to release the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. And right now you can get a 2-week trial absolutely free just by visiting TFNN.com and providing us your name and email address. The TAS Profile Scanner Plus is the premier market profile based scanner in the industry. Powered by the acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner is a standalone desktop software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Within 3 minutes of signing up, you can have the software downloaded and running on your computer with a complete roadmap of market indicators and inflection points to trade off using the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. Sign up today and try this amazing piece of software by visiting TFNN.com.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. John takes your phone calls. Now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Hi guys, welcome back to the show. We're kind of focusing on crude oil in that 32.73 area on the March contract. Saw some things about Glencore too, keeping some oil offshore and some backwardation type moves. John from Philadelphia was talking about that, and I'm talking about leaving tankers out in the. That's amazing that they've kind of resorted to try to squeeze something out of their commodity place like that. John from Philadelphia was talking about that kind of June versus March situation. Glad he brought that up. Lost start chart. Here we go. Okay, showing the 10-year here. Okay, so yeah, a couple of things. Bank of Japan, they're in negative rate territory, folks. So looking at the yen, I'm going to go back to the scanner for a second and just kind of let you know what that does to a currency really quick. Here's the JPY USD, and as you can see, getting some green there, and going into our 60-minute, and wow, we have gone from 118.5 into 121, folks. 120, actually above 121. So that's what happens when you play around with the rate structure of your country. You devalue your currency, generally speaking. So let's take a look at, can't see it. Are you guys seeing my chart on the scanner? No? Yes? Got it. Did you see that chart I put up, by the way, that one with the 60-minute on the JPY? Okay, cool. Great. All right. So again, let's go back to the notes really quick. If you guys are seeing this, this is what's called a flat out breakout. This is our weekly. I was kind of hedging my bets and trying to lean on the 128.28 area. Started crowding this area, which is a little concerning, but I tried to stay with this, and I'm going to tell you, I've gotten stopped out of the note trade here. So spinning around here, getting above that weekly info high. This is a pretty big move, and this is some people covering like moi right now. Don't know if we're going to stay up here, but again, race to zero globally on the rate structure. So there you go. Here we go. Dollar move. Interesting how this is rallied. Does that make a lot of sense to me? Yeah, all things considered, yes, but an interesting reaction here. Got close to that support area, 98.30, 98. Didn't quite get there yesterday. Got to 98.45, but again, got into the neighborhood and rallied up. I'm not a fan of being short our dollar. So anytime I personally have been looking at this thing, I've been looking at it support and buy breakouts. Do you guys see have you been keeping up with this, the way cell phones, you can recharge batteries, you kind of put your phone on a little pad and it, transfers the electricity to recharge the battery, and they're now working on, I think they're really close to being able to charge, not putting on the pad, just being in the vicinity, walking around. Reminds me of the Tesla coil concept. If you never looked into that, please look into it. I mean, Tesla's whole goal was to have free electricity for everybody all the time. And guys like JP Morgan found out that was his goal, who were funding the project. They kind of cut it off. If there's no way to make money out of it, they're not going to fund it. So that was back, I guess, in the late 1800s, early 1900s, late 1800s, I think. Looking at Nikola Tesla, interesting guy. I'm sure you guys have all heard of him. They actually named a unit of measurement after him. It was a magnetic field type unit of measurement. Finally, I think in 1960 gave him that. So, but it reminds me of that concept, and interesting how that's coming back. All right, let's see here. Yeah, he kind of was a weird guy. Yeah, in the was it what is the hotel in New York that he lived in for like 9 years? He was really weird about the number 39. What was that hotel? God, I'll think of it. I'll look it up. I think it was called the New Yorker Hotel. I don't know. Anyway, not that important for this conversation today during this segment where we're supposed to be talking about the markets. S&Ps, before we get into this, again, here's our 240 view. Here's the inflection points we paid attention to. 1904 on the 240s, unfair lows at 1880. See how that launching pad was 1880 the other day? It's kind of similar situation. Facebook and a couple other things got announced. We're going to take a look at some of those earnings. What was that hotel? Can't remember. It's weird. Let's get some of these earnings out in the open here. All right. Just to kind of look at some of the inflection points and how they've reacted, let's take a look at Abbott Laboratories. We're just going to go down the list here. Obviously not a good reaction. I want you to, again, I'm not a big fan of rolling the dice before earnings, by the way, but you kind of want to trade the reaction and not the action a lot of times. Here's Abbott Laboratories. This is kind of deathly looking here. Oof, ouch. So you got a lot of people covering on this particular stock. Technically speaking, here's our weekly. What do you do with it if you want to play around with it? I think you got to sit tight on this one. And I say that kind of often because it really is, something you need to get used to doing is just waiting patiently, in my opinion, until some new things appear. Here's the action on it. No new daily profiles. I'd rather see at least an intermediate profile appear to start looking at. If you're trying to pick something up on sale, markets could head lower. It could drag this thing lower. This is kind of a relative weakness death knell here. It's been a weak stock, and it's been pulling back with the market. Going into a couple other ones, and we're gonna stay away from the scanner for a second because we've got so many earnings related situations that I know you guys probably want to hear about. Amazon. Where are we at here? 565. All right, this is our daily print before the earnings. I'm sorry to laugh at this. It's just amazing. People get jacked up before these things. They want to roll the dice, and this is what happens. Now we're trading 560. All right. So this is eSignal's daily print, and again, this is a great example of why you might not want to roll the dice before these earnings announcements. Anything can happen. So where are we at now on a relative strength scale? Here's our 240s. As you can see, you can use these profiles in so many ways. But one of the things that on very volatile situations, we're going to talk about this when we come back. You can use these inflection points to wait patiently until these markets at least come to you. We'll be right back.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you, like it does me, call 1-855-750-4051 to find out what they can do for you. That's 1-855-750-4051. Call them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Until recently, it was almost impossible for the average investor to hedge against currency risk in Europe or Japan. For a bold trade on Europe or Japan that protects against moves in currency, trade HEGE or HEGJ, 2 times currency hedged leveraged ETFs from Direction Investments. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Hi guys, welcome back to the show. We were taking a look at Amazon before we left, and when you have these, if you want to play the reaction on a lot of these earnings related stocks that come out, and they can be profitable without question. You want to, in my opinion, look at these inflection points to try to wait. You've got some opportunities when we start having the reaction after the action. And these inflection points are really, really good areas to kind of wait and pick your battles around those particular areas. So when we have the the breakdown on the 240s and obviously the dailies and the weeklies on Amazon, the retracement back up into that. I'm showing our charts on the scanner right now, but if you look at the E-signal situation, the high of that particular bounce back up of that 240 was 579. The unfair highs were 579. Our unfair lows were 579. So 579.30 and then 579.22. So again, if you're going to play around with these after the market, a lot of platforms offer that type of trading. Might want to be aware of these inflection points. You can get them right in the scanner here. I just pulled up Amazon mouse over. You can kind of see quickly what those inflection points are. There's that 579, there's the 591, and there's the big mama at 605. So again, just something to be aware of. We're going to take a look at Caterpillar. We're going to go into our scanner. And actually, let's just don't even do that. Let's just scroll down. It's a pain in the butt here. Here we go. Caterpillar. Here's the situation here. Here's where the level of the market is. Pretty docile reaction. Up, well, actually not that docile. What was it, up 5%? Here we are. Here's the weekly view. A little bit of a bounce off the bottom. These are not reflected in these daily and weeklies yet off of E-signal. So let me go into the scanner here. I was looking at another percentage when I said docile. Sorry about that. Actually up 4.7%. So pre-market we're trading 61.45. So let's just look at that relative to everything else. Here we go. The lid on this is going to be 62.97. That would kind of be a target situation here. And that's up into 65.28. So that's going to be a something that DMZ, if you will, is going to be your targets up top on this. Not any real breakage of profiles here, so nothing to really write home about. Let's take a look at Ford. Wow, just noticing in the scan and the notes about Nikola Tesla. Wow. Okay. And I'm supposed to look at VZ, and I forgot about that. So let's look at VZ first, really quick. All right. So this is one. The scanner's been obviously in the breakouts. We've been talking about this. It's been showing above profiles, the retest. We're trading 49.21 pre-market. The question would be, I guess, what do you do with this now? Was it Paul that asked that? Let me see. Anyway, Paul, yes, here we go. This is our daily. And I'm going to pull it up in our scanner really quick. DZ, here we go. So again, all arrows pointing north here, even in the balanced areas. What does that mean? That means that we're in an uptrend on these time frames also, even though we're within the balanced areas, and there's been no breakage of rules here. Weekly and daily, obviously, the story there. So if we go into the 4 hour and the 1 hour, I mean, it's a strong stock in a market that's been headed south, and right now, huge support is around 47 to 47.28, if you can see that. 47.16 to 47.28. So that's the big time support. And I know you're thinking, well, God, I don't want to hang on to it if it's going to pull back 2 points. Thanks, Logan. No problem. But I mean, there's really not a lot of reasons to take off the long-term trade right now. Short-term guys, 48.25 would be kind of like your stop out point if you can see this 60-minute regulating the trade up. I'm a big fan of 240s. You got a new profile here. You don't have any indications of new profiles attempting to appear on the long term yet. I'd wait until I see some yellow peelbacks there, Paul. But again, the stock looks great. I don't know what else to say there. I mean, a lot of times, the biggest problem that I've had in the past is taking trades off too too soon. And I've hung on to trades too long too, by the way. But so it's kind of a give and take there. But you want to just get some valid indications on this that the worm may be turning here, and I just don't see that happening yet. You'd either have to see some breakage of the 240 unfair lows, or some new profiles attempting to appear in new supply areas, if you will, up top on these long terms. I don't know what kind of time frame you're trading this on, but we definitely had a valid breakout, and I love to see this thing kind of spin around after these breakouts, kind of form these classical technical flag pennant situations, and then do another moonshot. So this is kind of a collection of energy type situation on the stock, and I don't see a lot of people that are, a lot of times when you see these big moves up, if it's not very valid, you'll see them come down like this. When they start spinning around, if I'm short this stock, I'm concerned, put it that way, and that makes me feel good about being long. Okay. I always look at it like, how would I be feeling if I was on the other side of this trade? I would not be happy, and I would be waking up every morning, not sleeping well, looking at the paper or whatever else I'm looking at, going, "Oh my God, is it higher again?" That's kind of what I think's happening here, if you know what I mean. And I know you've been there. I hate that feeling. Try to avoid that feeling if you can. Why do they even have Puerto Rico in the news anymore? They have this news story every day on a lot of the things that I read. I mean, you can circle the whole island in a car in less than a day. I mean, what's the point? I have no idea why they keep yapping about that place. Taking a look at gold. Talking about spinning and collecting energy. I mean, this is Friday. We could again have a weekly close above this 1104 area, 1104, 1108, and that's bullish for gold. Am I super excited about buying gold right now? Not really. I mean, I'd have to see it come back to 1104 and kind of bounce off of there again. But a weekly close above this area is a long-term decent situation, and you do not have any new supply areas starting to happen on the daily here on gold. So we're going to come back, hit a couple more stocks: Celgene, Ford, Microsoft, of course, and Visa.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped, and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors. TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com. Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Hi, guys. Let's get back in a couple of these earnings here. That was gold. That was just kind of for me, a pass on that. For guys who are long, you're looking pretty good there. Let's take a look at Celgene, CELG, really quick. These are earnings-related stocks. Just want to kind of get everybody up to speed on how to deal with them. Maybe 96.78. Here we go. So again, not the best thing in the world for technical analysis. Breakdown 194, 101. Let's call it is the lid on this. You know, how do you trade this? Here's the weekly. Staying below profiles there, but let's just kind of drill down to the 240 here. So this is the situation. If you're going to try to play a very scary game, in my opinion, of trying to buy a stock that's just getting hammered like this, 139 is the top of the profile on our 240, along with that 194. That's kind of your lofty targets on this. And you got something to lean against here, bottom of the profile on the 240 that's just appeared. Remember, new demand area, yellow bar, boom, here we go, it's locked in. That's going to be something you can lean against. Finally, just like we were talking about a couple other instruments before, you know, short-term basis, long-term basis, intermediate basis, you want to just have some new fence to lean against. And right now, you can kind of see this now. It's like instead of kind of throwing darts in the dark, you've got a little fence to lean against there now at 96.42. So that's kind of the premise here. If I go into the scanner and I pull up Celgene, here we go. You're going to get that information, and you'll see bottom 13. There's that 96.42. There's the level of the market. It's pretty easy to deal with it if you're going to just kind of day trade something. And wow, I missed that. There you go. So again, that's kind of the way to hopefully make some sense out of some madness there. Let's take a look at Ford really quick. All right. Okay, so 1179 pre-market. It looks like that is printing now. Okay, here we go. So again, hasn't been the darling of the long world for sure. And here we go. What do we pre-market here? 1179. So not a lot of big reactions. The stock has been making lower lows as the market hasn't. Again, nothing to write home about here. I think you could put your capital to work in a much better way, staying away from Ford right now. The only way I'd even think about getting long this is if we had some new demand areas happen on the daily, and that's not happening. So let's go down to Ford in our list here of the S&Ps. F is after E in the alphabet. Yes, it is. Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Prosser from my 4th grade. I didn't learn the alphabet till the 4th grade, by the way. So here's Ford. Again, nothing new. No new yellow peelbacks happening. Just a dire situation, in my opinion. I mean, just, again, it's not on sale. We've talked about this religiously. Things on their lows can go lower. Doesn't mean they're on sale. The good news is about Ford, if it goes to 0, you can only lose 11 points. That's one way to look at it. As opposed to Amazon, you could lose like 600. Does Amazon deserve to go to 0? That's up for discussion. Let's look at Visa. All right, so I'm going to go down to our V's here. Visa, here we go. All right, so let's just see what's going on pre-market here. How does, let's just pull this up. Visa. Is this still the heaviest weighted stock in the Dow? Can somebody tell me that in the den? Jay, is that on the internet? That actually sounds about right. GS is number 1. Yeah, I mean, I think Visa is second, maybe. Anyway, I'm sorry, but yeah, well. I'll pull it up on the break. Okay, so anyway, when you pay your credit card bill and you see the egregious charges, you wonder how this thing would ever go down. But again, 70.31 is the bottom of our profile here. 70.31. So again, where are we at this morning? We're at 69.40. Here's our weekly view on Visa. We broke down a while back below 76.47. Then on the long term, this is kind of where you're supposed to be passing on longs right now. If you want to nibble, you still really need to get back above 70.31 to retrace back up into that 76.47. But again, I think you've got better use of your capital out there, and especially your mental capital, getting involved with something that's going to be a little bit of a tug of war. It's much easier in this environment to try to find strong stocks that are going to be going sideways at worst if the market just plummets, the broad market. So again, I'm not a big fan of playing a game, buying things that might be on sale. Okay. All righty. So we're going to take a look at Microsoft, MSFT, Mr. Softy. Here we go. 54.15 printing already this morning, 54.15. So here's our long term on Microsoft. We had shown some strength lately. I'm not a big fan of rolling the dice before earnings, but if you can see that, getting back in the balanced area and using 51.40 now, the big number we're trading pre-market is 54.15. So here's that 53.08. We're obviously above our daily profiles now. The weekly, you still got some headwinds here. But again, exploring the entire fair auction, we're probably going to rest a little bit around this inflection point. Again, this is a strong stock in a market that's gone sideways. I mean, you can't ignore things like that on a long-term basis. And in my opinion, we could get back above 55 on this. And that's the relative strength trading situation. Let's take a look at Big Mo. Earnings out on this one. Altria. It's kind of a Virginia, North Carolina thing here. Here we go. J. We got 59.73 top of the profile on the daily. Pre-market, we're trading 59.82. So again, compressing. We could be up into 62 on MO pretty quickly. We'll be right back.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
Catch Larry Pesavento, a 40-year veteran trader. He uses pattern recognition, Gartleys, butterflies, ABCs, and Fibonacci in order to trade these markets. Trade what you see. Next on TFNN.
Okay, guys, got about 4 minutes. We're going to hit Netflix and Boeing really quick. Requests from the den. Always happy to look at these things. All right, so Netflix, big number there. I'm going to pull it up on the scanner. Here we go. By the way, Noble Energy, keep your eye on that one. Keep your eye on NBL. Here's Netflix. Here's the so-called level of the market here. Here's that 92.27 here. All things considered, the stock has just continued to go down lately, with the S&P's kind of stopping, but we're at a big time inflection point. This is not reflecting pre-market. This is the weekly. I'm not opposed to buying this above 92.27. And it's, today's Friday. We're going to get a weekly close. We're trading 91.90 pre-market. And again, 94.41 was the close yesterday. If we can get back above 92.27, I'm going to not feel terribly about buying this. But again, any closes below 92.27 today, I may have to sit on the sidelines on the long side on this. I haven't been personally playing around with Netflix too much. This is our daily. So, again, today's close is going to be really, really important. If we can close above 92.27, it actually might be a decent little buying opportunity. Boeing, ouchie, 118.70 is pre-market pricing on this. If you can see these types of things, close below, look, go back and retest ultimately. These are the powerful trades. What do you do with this now? I don't see any reason whatsoever to buy this yet. Getting a little bit of a reversal action from Wednesday's action into Thursdays and maybe into Fridays. But you want to see a new demand area happen here. You want to see new inflection points to pay attention to, and that's just not happening yet. I want to take a look at IBM. I hate this company. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. They're going down, and I know Tom's not a huge fan of this company either. And I tell you what, my ex used to work for this company. I dated her for 10 years. Now I hate her, but that's not anything having to do with the trade in the stock right now. But she used to make a little thing on her. They just sent everybody home, all the mid-level people working on a laptop. If anybody's working for IBM listening to this show, maybe I'm disclosing some things I shouldn't, but just an unbelievable situation, exporting everything overseas, staying in the just caveman times when it comes to technology and being proactive, having too much middle management involved, nothing getting done, legacy contracts really keeping the thing afloat. I'm just fundamentally bearish on this thing. Here's the weekly, but I want to show you the daily situation on IBM. It's really been something that anytime resistance or breakdowns present themselves, got stopped out a little bit back in, I remember when this happened back in the 170s, but you got to kind of be ready to pounce on things when they provide the situations again. IBM not on sale, guys. This is kind of like this collection area again for this thing to head lower. We had a profile appear above price action lately on the daily. And again, this is just, I think this, we talked about 100. I think this thing's going sub 100. We're trading 123 this morning. Big deal. If you can get a new inflection point, fair auction situation here on IBM, lean against the resistance, continue to short this stock. We'll be back on Monday, guys. Stay tuned for Larry, Steve, Rhodes, Basil, David White, the rest of the gang. Tom, have a good weekend.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
This is TFNN.